Hey guys, this is Big C Fishing Overviews, and today I'm going to be going over my top 10 favorite lures along with my favorite knot, which would be the Polymer's knot. And so what we're going to start off with today is a Yo-Zuri Pins Minnow baby trout. This lure usually hovers at around probably 2 feet underneath the water. What it does is it wriggles back and forth like this, and as you can hear, it has a rattle in it. This works best probably open water, and I've actually caught on this particular lure. Biggest fish I probably caught was an 8.5 pound largemouth bass. But you can also use this for redfish. You can use this for trout, just depending on where you go and what the weather's like. Probably works best on open water beds for bass, and in tight corners for trout. You can do this at like the entrance of a river, or you could go more downstream and try to fish for bass. This probably works best for largemouth bass, but is almost equal to redfish. I've never caught a trout on this, but I've heard you can. In another video of mine, which is my next video, I'm going to go over my trout fishing. But this is my number one favorite one to use at mouths of rivers. My second one is an LH frog. This one has a partial yellow and partial white stomach with legs that fold open as you pull it and work the frog. I actually fished with this yesterday, so as you can see, it still has water coming out of it. But I caught my biggest bass I've ever caught in my life on this. It was a 12.5 pound largemouth bass out of the corner of my private lake that I own. But this is my number one go-to if I'm not catching it on anything else. This is my number one go-to topwater bait. This probably looks the best in the water of the other frog. These two right here. Out of these two, this one looks the best in the water, and you can see I still have my line on there. I usually always cut it off, but I just left it on there. I guess I had to go. But this is, you can use this on open water in tight spots. You can use this in eddies. You can use this anywhere. It's a topwater bait, and what it does is whenever the bass latches onto it, this pushes down, and which reveals these two hooks, which then when you yank it, it hooks into the fish's lip. And if the bass does not intend to swallow it, it won't catch, and what it will do is your frog will sink. That's when you know something's hit it, instead of you hitting a log or hitting something like that, which you shouldn't because it's topwater. Number 3 is this little guy right here. You can go to Walmart and buy these. This particular bait only costs $1 and something, yet it is one of my favorites. Go to Walmart and you can get these in packs of 3. These are power baits. These work like the spinners on the back of the worm. His legs flip and flop back and forth, which causes like a bubble to come up and makes a lot of noise on the top of the water. It's a steady reel. It's not a really work frog. And if you work it right, you'll hook a nice bass on it. But that's my third favorite. Coming in at number 4, we have baby brush hogs. This one is a pepper seed instead of a watermelon seed. Watermelon seed, baby brush hog, it always works the best, but I don't have any on me at the time. The only difference is the watermelon seed is green and is only black. Pepper seed has like black and silver sparkles in it. You can use this with primarily any jig head, and it usually stays, depending on the fluke that you have on it, it usually stays between like 1.5, 3 feet underneath the water. Uh, Works really well. Have had a lot of big fish on it. Um, but yeah, overall, it's just a really nice bait. There's a couple brands that carry these. Mostly Zoom. You get these out of a Zoom package in like packs of like 20 for probably $6. But yeah, it's a really nice bait. Um, Number 5, we have a um candy red lizard. You can use this with primarily any jig head, and it's a constant reel. This usually works better in murky water, uh, because whenever that little bit of sun hits those bright red sparkles, it gives off a bunch of light. But in clear water, they can easily see that it's a fake bait, not a real lizard. But it gives more of a lifelike appearance whenever it is in murky water. But as you can see, it's a really nice, well thought out bait. Has all these little phalanges on it, and its tail spins, and it causes a lot of ruckus on the top of the water. And it's just a really nice bait. Caught second biggest fish I ever caught in my life. 10.5 pound largemouth with this bait. Did not expect it, actually. I thought I actually got hung up on a log and then it started moving. So yeah. Number 6, we have a weaveless little, I don't know what you would call this. I actually had to put this on myself, this part right here. This causes a vibration in the water whenever it's moving, and whenever that fish senses it. So originally this was a heavy duty weaveless spinnerbait. You can see because it's got the skirt on it. But I put this little thing on, as you can see, with like the little plastic ring right there. I put this on. This causes a vibration. So you can either do this or you can go with the regular spinnerbait. Either way, it works really well. Favorite spinnerbait is probably the all black spinnerbait. I broke it a little while ago, and I've been meaning to find one, but I cannot find it anywhere I go, even if I try to go on Amazon and try to special order it. But if you decide to do what I've done, this right here, I will guarantee within the first 10 casts, no matter where you're at, something will hit it. Because the vibration of the vibration pack at the top is so intense that it can bring fish to you that are bigger than dings, because the vibration usually is like a predator for smaller fish, but since they're larger fish, they tend to go after these things. Like, say there was a baby bird or a baby squirrel that fell into the water, little fish would run from it, big fish would come after it. And just overall, this is a really nice one to use. I don't know if you would do the same thing I did, but it seems to work with me very well. We have at number 7 or 6. We have, or 7, whichever. We have a brown skirted rattle trap. But this right here has been really good for me anytime I want to go into like mouths of rivers, murky water. Good for redfish, or largemouth bass. Never caught a bass on this one. I've always redfished with this bait particularly. This usually hovers however long you let it sink for. It usually goes about a foot every 3 seconds. So if you say you let it sink for 3 seconds, you reel it back in, it'll go a foot deep. But what this does is it rattles back and forth, and it causes the bait to go up and down like this really, really fast. And that vibration in the water will attract the fish. And this This bait right here is one of my primary go-tos, just because of the fact that the fish love this color brown with these tiny sparkles in it, because when it hits the light, it gives off that second little bitty itty bitty beam of light, which causes the fish to be attracted to it. But yeah, this is one of my favorite go-tos right here, the brown rattle bait. So yeah. Here we have, this is number 8. Yeah, 8. We have a rattle trap. It's got a little rattle in it. This hovers, it stays at, you can see the slight angle. This stays at about 1 foot underwater. Brand new treble hooks. I put these on the other day. I fished with this along with the topwater frog. This is for largemouth bass. It has the appearance of like a baby carp, if you put it like that. When a carp comes by a really big largemouth bass, then they're dinner. But the underneath is like a bright neon yellow, and it wriggles back and forth like this as well. It stays just like that. It fell out of my tackle box the other day. As you can see, the paint's kind of scratched up. So, I don't know what you would do with that. I'd probably end up throwing this lure away and buying a new one. These you can go to pretty much any bass fishing store you want to. You can go to Dick's, you can go to Academy, you can go to any of your local stores, and you can still find this bait. They say that this bait works the best because of the little orange rings around the eyes, and they say whenever it's moving back and forth, it looks like you're taking something in there, and you're just like, you're putting something really bright in the water and zigging back and forth, so you can't really see the eyes. It's just creating a blur of orange, and a fish usually bites at that. I got this lure probably 2 years ago, and it's primarily one of my favorite ones, just because it's always caught fish. But yeah, it's really nice for shady areas. That's where I found the best. In clear or murky water, shady areas is where you find this. But yeah, here we go. We got a black and blue spinnerbait. Excuse my dog. That's him whimpering in the background. Bo, be quiet, bud. But black and blue usually works best whenever you're in murky waters. Single spinner. It's not one of the big double spinners. What I did is I widened the hook just a little bit instead of having a closer hook, so that way it's got more of a chance of hooking the actual fish. Really well in places that have a lot of seagrass, because when a fish backs up in the seagrass, it's able to launch better, and they see the dark colors a lot better than they do the bright ones. So murky water, open or small areas with a lot of seagrass. I was gonna make this weaveless, but I didn't. All you gotta do is buy the little weedless attachment right here, and get it come down and block the hook. Bo, be quiet. Okay, so this one right here has caught the most fish ever on it. I fished with this along with the frog and the other bait. I've caught the most fish in my life with this right here. It's a rattle trap, black on top, silver body. As you can see, that's the company it's made by right there. Always comes the logo on it. Yellow eyes. Brand new treble hooks. Bo! 2 feet of water underneath it. Bo, I swear, dude, I'm gonna hurt you. But it wriggles back and forth, and I caught a 9.5 pounder in Florida at Lake Talquin. That's my favorite lake. But yeah, it's got the rattling and everything, and that's pretty much my Bo! It's my favorite bait for that lake. On to my favorite knot. This would be the last part of this video, but this is Shakespeare 8-pound test, 700 yards of it. I actually got this with a fishing pole I bought for my sister, but the Polymer's knot is my favorite knot. You will never, and I will guarantee this, if you decide to try this knot out, you will never, ever, I repeat, ever break a line with this. Ever. You will, or the knot will not come undone. The line will have to scrape something to break it. I can guarantee that at the moment. Let me find one we can use right here. Ew, I said to bite the line off this. Oh, it's still not off. Oh, there it went. Okay. So what you do with a Polymer's knot, you have your line, okay? You double it up like this. You pinch the end, so that way you're able to get it through the hole. Bo! Dang, dude. Then you put it through the hole. As you can see, it's on the 2 lines. You take it and you do it just like a shoelace. You cross it under, and you pull, just like so. Then with this little loop you have, you're going to take the whole bait and you're going to put through the loop. If you ever get like a 7-month-old lab, be prepared. I'm letting y'all know right now. But you put the whole bait through the loop, then you take these and you pull it tight. And that is it. That right there will never come undone, ever. Polymer's knot, best knot you will ever find in your life. And you just cut the excess off with your scissors, and there you go. Polymer's knot, best knot ever created in life. If you would do me a favor and like and subscribe, comment as much as you want. I'll be back within a week to give you next video on fishing overview. Trout fishing is probably going to be my next one. But thank y'all for watching, and I hope y'all have a blessed day.